Hey, we gotta talk about it though. Don't get serious, no, not like that. I mean, dough. The floury foundation of everything, from flaky parathas to flaky focaccias. Welcome back to She's Always On About Food, and this time I'm really about that dough life. Bread has risen, been broken, blessed, fermented, flattened, deep fried, and dunked across cultures for thousands of years. And today, we are kneading into the sticky, stretchy story of how a little mix of flour and water changed the world. So, whether you're team sourdough starter, puff pastry, kachori, or a good old luchi, tie your apron and dust off your counter. We're about to roll.
Isn't it always about food with you?
She's always on about food.
Let's go back. I mean, way back. Around 14,000 years ago, give or take, and a few burned bits. Archaeological evidence from Jordan suggests that our prehistoric ancestors were already experimenting with grinding wild grains into coarse flour. Mix that with water, slap it on a hot stone, boom, flatbread. Human had entered their carb era. By Neolithic times, we had figured out that fermentation, whether by wild yeast or sheer luck, could make dough rise. Ancient Egyptians are often credited with being the OG sourdough influencers. They even offered loaves to the gods. Because let's face it, good bread is basically divine. As agriculture spread, so did flour. Barley in the Middle East, millet and rice flour in East Asia, maize in the America, flour was local but dough was universal. Let's talk formats, and hun, we've got a range to cover. In India, dough dances from soft chapatis and puffed pooris to stuffed parathas and festive karanji. And Bengali luchis, little clouds of oil-laced magic, no debate at all. In East Africa, fermented teff flour becomes injera, that spongy, tangy, edible plate that hugs your stew like a warm cousin. In Italy, pasta dough gets rolled and cut and pinched into 1,000 shapes. Ravioli, tortellini, gnocchi, and yes, gnocchi is dough's pillowy cousin. In China, wheat dough becomes noodles, dumpling wrappers, and the gloriously chewy mantou. Jewish tradition brings us challah, golden, braided, eggy love. Mexico gives us tortillas, soft, versatile, sacred. France, puff pastry, croissants, pain au chocolat, and drama. Dough is so much more than bread. It's pies, it's pastries, it's pasta, it's pancakes, it's tradition, survival, celebration, and snack time all at once. Okay, time to get a bit geeky. What actually happens when you knead? In a wheat-based dough, it's all about gluten. Two proteins, gliadin and glutenin, that combine with water to create that elastic network we call structure. Gluten traps gas bubbles released by yeast or other leavening agents, making the dough rise like it just got the best news of its life. Kneading aligns the gluten strands. Fermentation adds flavor. Hydration levels, they determine if your dough's more pizza or pasta. Want it puffed? Add steam. Want it crisp? Bake it dry. Want it flaky? Layer that fat. Puff pastry is just lamination and patience and a little bit of rage, let's be real. Oh, and sourdough? That's a wild yeast party with lactic acid bacteria as the DJ, breaking down gluten, adding complexity, and keeping things tangy. Rice-based doughs like those in South or East Asia behave differently. There's no gluten, so you rely on stickiness and sometimes fermentation for the texture. Think of idiyappam or mochi. Bread isn't just food. It's metaphor, it's memory, it's power. Breaking bread often symbolizes peace, communion, hospitality. In many religions, bread is sacred, from communion wafers to prasad roti in Sikh gurudwaras. In revolutionary France, the phrase, "let them eat cake," wasn't about cake. It was about the disconnect between rulers and the price of basic bread. In wartime or famine, dough changes. Wartime loaves were darker, denser, stretched with non-wheat fillers. In prosperous times, bread gets softer, richer, braided, and sweetened. Migration also needs new forms, like bao buns in Peru, bagels in New York City, or fusion rotis with kimchi fillings. Dough adapts, it absorbs the story of its surroundings. TikTok might love a butterpot, but let's not forget our dough timeline. The sourdough revival during the pandemic made people feel like the medieval alchemists. Croissant hybrids, cruffins, cronuts, Q croissants are the Gen Z of pastries, extra and proud. And artisan flatbreads like manakish and pide are finally getting their moment in global cafes. Meanwhile, gluten-free alternatives are thriving, from almond flour doughs to the Brazilian tapioca cheese pão de queijo. Dough is diversifying. So what have we learned, carb comrades? Dough is a memory, dough is a movement, dough is a literal starter culture. It binds people and places from Ethiopian injera circles to Bengali luchi Sundays. It's kneaded with history and baked into identity. So the next time you tear into a naan, dunk a donut, or roll out a cookie dough, give it a moment. That soft little piece of heaven has traveled thousands of years and continents to get to your plate. Alright, that's enough food philosophy for today. Now excuse me while I go emotionally eat a fluffy garlic naan. If you like this episode, give us a follow, send it to your favorite carb lover, and stay tuned. Next week, we open the pantry of empires and stir the colonial pot. Until then, keep rolling.